I always thought I was the kind of man who would see it coming. I was a local blogger, a name people in the business knew. My audience had grown into the thousands, and brands paid me to promote them. I ran workshops, coached influencers, and had finally reached a level where I could call myself successful. But for all the awareness, intuition, and influence I had in my industry, I was blind when it came to my own marriage. I had no idea that while I was building our future, my wife was out destroying it. Until it all came crashing down. It started with the trip. "Nick, I need this," Haley had said one evening, scrolling through her phone, her nails tapping lightly against the screen. "Emily and I have been talking about a girl's trip for months." Emily, her best friend. The one who had always pushed Haley toward more excitement, more adventure. I hesitated. Not because I didn't want her to have fun, but because something felt off. Haley had been acting distant, restless. It was the same pattern I had seen before when she got bored of things, hobbies, jobs, even people. She had an insatiable hunger for newness, and now it felt like that hunger was creeping into our marriage. "Where are you going?" I asked. "Miami," she said with a grin. "Beaches, cocktails, fun. It'll be amazing." "How long?" "Just a week," she assured me. A week felt long. A week felt dangerous. But I didn't want to be the jealous, overprotective husband. So, I let her go. And that was my first mistake. The week without Haley was busier than I expected. I threw myself into projects, collaborations, mentoring up-and-coming bloggers who wanted to learn from me. It was rewarding work. Work that kept me distracted. But something felt wrong. Haley's texts were shorter than usual. Her calls turned into missed calls and voicemails. When she finally answered, she was distracted, laughing in the background at something I couldn't see. When Haley came back, she was different. At first, I thought it was just the afterglow of a fun trip. But then I started noticing things, little things that piled up, whispering warnings in my ear. She'd step away to take calls, her voice dropping when I entered the room. It all unraveled at the party. We were hosting a small get-together, friends, fellow bloggers, business contacts. Haley was in high spirits, floating from person to person, laughing a little too loudly, drinking a little too much. I watched her closely, my gut telling me something was about to break. And then Emily cornered me in the kitchen. "Nick," she whispered, gripping her wine glass, her fingers shaking. "I need to tell you something." The air around us thickened. "Okay," I said slowly. She looked over her shoulder at Haley, who was oblivious, chatting with someone across the room. "It's about Miami." My heart pounded. "What about it?" Emily took a deep breath. "She cheated, Nick." The words ripped through me like a knife. "What?" My voice was too loud, too raw. Emily winced, but didn't back down. "She met someone there. A guy. It wasn't just a mistake. It was a thing. A full-blown fling. I didn't want to get involved, but she didn't even try to hide it." My blood turned ice. And then everything snapped. I stormed into the living room, my pulse roaring in my ears. Conversations died. Haley looked up, confused until she saw my face. "Nick?" she asked, her voice uncertain. "What's?" "You cheated on me," I said, my voice shaking with fury. "In Miami. With some guy." The room fell into stunned silence. Haley's eyes widened. For a split second, I saw fear flash across her face. But then, just as quickly, she recovered. "Nick, what the hell are you talking about?" She forced a laugh, looking around like she expected everyone to join in. "Are you drunk?" "Don't." I stepped closer. "Emily told me everything." Emily flinched as Haley's gaze snapped to her, betrayal and rage flashing in her eyes. "You. Is it true?" I demanded. Haley hesitated. Just for a second. But it was enough. I felt something inside me break. "Get out," I said, my voice dangerously calm. Haley blinked. "What?" "Get out." I pointed to the door. "You don't live here anymore." Gasps echoed around the room. Someone muttered, "Oh, shit." Haley's face twisted. "Nick, you're being ridiculous. We can talk about this." I grabbed her wrist and pulled her toward the door. "No. We're done talking." She yanked her arm back. "You're making a scene." "Good. Now everyone knows exactly what kind of woman you are." The silence was suffocating. Haley looked around, as if expecting someone, anyone, to defend her. But no one did. With a furious huff, she grabbed her purse. "You'll regret this," she hissed. "Not as much as you will," I shot back. And then she was gone. The guests quickly shuffled out after her, leaving me standing alone in the wreckage of what used to be my life. But I wasn't done. This was only the beginning. I wasn't going to let this slide. Throwing Haley out of the house wasn't enough. Divorce? That was the easy way out. I wasn't about to just walk away while she laughed behind my back with some nobody she met in Miami. I was going to make sure she felt what I felt. She was going to lose everything. That night, after the guests left, I poured myself a glass of whiskey and pulled out my laptop. I went through our accounts, our emails, our messages. Haley wasn't careful. She thought deleting texts meant they were gone forever. But I knew better. I dug deep. Within an hour, I had the full picture. His name was Tyler Monroe, a fitness trainer from Miami, a nobody with a fake tan and muscles built for Instagram. The messages were pathetic. She had begged him to keep in touch, told him she'd come back soon, said she was thinking of leaving me. I clenched my fists, my pulse roaring in my ears. She had no idea what was coming. Haley built her perfect image on social media, the doting wife, the supportive partner. I was about to tear that image apart. I logged into our shared Google Drive where she stored her personal photos, screenshots of her texts, her pictures with Tyler, a selfie in bed, a blurry shot of them on the beach, a hotel room receipt. Evidence, enough to ruin her. I wrote an anonymous email and sent it to her entire office. Her boss, her coworkers, her clients. Subject, your employee Haley Reynolds isn't who she says she is. I attached everything. Then, I sat back and waited. By morning, her career was dead.